guys from Brisbane, mate. We just never wheeled before. First timers, thanks for taking on first time Coffs Harbour tours.
Coffs Harbour, home to arguably the toughest tracks in Australia and for those adventurers who chase the most extreme of challenges. This episode is a big one. Joined by the crew from Built for Off-Road, I lead the way in the mighty GU deep into the mountains of New South Wales, pushing the rig harder than I ever have before. Countless hours of winching, huge ruts, loads of muds and trouble with the patrol.
The car just shut off.
It was a recipe for one long day ahead. We pushed well into the night until we were faced with a situation you never want to find yourself in out on the tracks.
Oh no, oh no.
Proudly supported by Outback Equipment, Tread,
Superior Engineering,
and in part by
Something a little bit different this weekend. We're out the back of Coffs for the weekend, just for the one night, but we're with the crew from Built for Off-Road, which is run by Barney from Legend X, and you got Chris from Tread here, a few other guys. I'm not going to try and run through them all, otherwise I'll end up forgetting someone. But they're down here filming for the weekend, and they invited me along for a bit of a drive, so I figured I'd film a bit of my own video on the background while it's all happening. I'm up the front of the convoy, sort of leading with local knowledge. So Dad's up the back of the convoy in the MUX, and there's about maybe 6-7 cars between us. I got Kai here with me in the patrol, got the big GU for the weekend. And first track that we're starting off on the day is Jeep track, and had a little bit of rain last night, so it's going to be a little bit slippery out here this morning still. But yeah, could be in for a fun day on the track, but we'll get stuck into it. I don't think it's going to be any better. I think you're just going to have to winch me up. Yeah, this is always going to be a winch out of this Jeep track. Creek here, it's just a disaster at the moment.
Well, it was 50 metres into the first track of the day and I was already breaking out the winch. Chris was up next in his Jeep Gladiator to see if he could do any better. I must say, those Gladiators are pretty cool. Twin locked reduction gears from factory. He whacked some suspension 35s on it and they're good to go. Chris had a few good cracks, but it didn't seem to matter what you were driving, you were not getting up this section without the winch.
No idea. Are you done, mate?
So yeah, a little bit different to the last time I drove Jeep track, when that was a bit slippery, but I drove up out of in the nav. That's just an absolute nightmare now. It's just massive holes and ruts and slush, and the problem is, like, it's sunny today, a little bit of rain last night, but not enough to make it that wet. This place just doesn't dry out in here, like, unless you get 2 months of 40-degree days, it's just not going to dry. Barney had a couple of good cracks in the Landcruiser, but suffered the same fate as Chris and I and had to pull out the winch. At this point, we realised we were just going to be spending the next couple of hours winching the entire crew to the top.
There you go, mate. Now you need the Legend X rock sliders.
He snapped the slider.
Righto, folks, this is what happens when you've got a two-piece sidestep, made an alley and a couple little bolts. You hit the smallest, tiniest little rock on the simplest bog hole, and voila, she cracks. I know a fella can hook you up. They're on sale this weekend for 2,000% above retail if you want it. I'll get one here in a diffy. Okay, now that's it. Now you're off it. You're off the rock. Alright, so Winch it.
4 vehicles up, I think 3 more to go. Having trouble getting the Chaos Landcruiser up there now. So I'm not going to film everything. We've been at this spot for nearly 2 hours now. Four-wheel driving is just one of those things, like people probably think, what the hell do you do this for? Sure, you got something better to do with your time, but it's kind of the unexpected out here. If you someone told you before you came out here today that that's what you're going to be doing for hours, you'd probably say, I'll go somewhere else. But you come to these places and you take on the challenges that arises, and sometimes it goes your way and other times this is just what happens. You just get stuck for hours and a big convoy makes it hard. Some pretty cool rigs here. So Suzuki Jimny, 79 Landcruiser, that's Barney's. We've got a Jeep Gladiator, that's Chris from Tread. So I must have got the patrol up the front there. All right, a little bit of time has passed. Dad, myself and Kai's sitting down there reading in the car. We've come for a drive up ahead on the track to do a scouting mission because they still had like 3 vehicles to winch. So I've had a few ruts and stuff to play around in so far. And now I've hit the main hill climb of Jeep. So I've come up to see what this is like and see if it's worth bringing the vehicles up or whether we start turning cars around. So the rest doesn't look too bad up here. Like, it's definitely tough, low range 4-wheel drive country, but it's reasonably dry. It's all rocky. And I think if we can get all the vehicles through the creek, then we'll actually have some fun on all this stuff. Put your front locker in. Yeah, and just give it a little bit of momentum. Yeah, more. No, I need more. No, that's driving it like an MUX. Drive it like a patrol. Yeah. Go, go, go. It's never easy driving a different car.
Yeah.
Taken me a while to learn how to drive this thing. Like, you could probably jump in your MUX and drive it better than
At least we're moving forward.
Yeah. But yeah, like all that, like this thing, you can get into it. Yeah. But yeah,
it
just
seems to be able to absorb the hits too.
Oh yeah, that
If you
that
do decide to get in, it'll
yeah,
absorb.
like that superior suspension, like
It'll absorb.
yeah. Nearly. Back it up a half a foot and then just bump it a bit.
What a babe.
Yeah.
Fun on this, buddy.
Yeah, we told him it's not too bad. They'll be here till midnight.
Well, I feel like I just made half a dozen enemies.
So this is the real nasty bit of Jeep track. No way we're going in that today. So we'll go around the side bit. I was officially a bogan patrol driver. How's that?
Oh, great fun.
Yeah. Pretty fun car to drive.
Oh yeah, it'll be able to spray through obstacles like they're nothing.
Yeah. So that's us up all the rocky section of Jeep track. So it continues a few more rocks, and I remember there is a couple more ruddy bits to the top of the mountain here. But yeah, we'll tackle them when we get to them. I think that's the worst of it. Probably going to hang around here a bit now and wait for the others.
It wasn't too much longer and the others had caught up. They were through all that winching at the creek and they were making their way towards those rock steps we just conquered in the patrol.
I'd back right down to where you crossed over and go for the straddle.
You went up high the straddle here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All the way to the top?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not where you want to be, Barney.
Time is 3:35 and they've just spent the last hour and a half maybe on all these clay ruddy bits, trying to get the final vehicle up now, and then we got to actually start Jeep track and all the rock climbing stuff. So yeah, they're going to be here well into the night, I'd say. We're up the top and I'm already thinking like going up there and starting a fire and giving Kai somewhere to sit and keep warm and stuff, because yeah, it could be a long process getting up all this. You gotta turn in.
Alright, turn, buddy. Come on, keep going. Keep following that. Beautiful. Yeah, straight up now. Yeah. Oh my God, keep going, don't stop. Don't look at me. Keep going, keep going.
Chris did Jeep owners proud and managed to navigate his Jeep beautifully to the top of Jeep Trail. Darren was up next in the little rig, the mighty Jimny. He's built this thing up to be one capable weapon.
Turn right in now, mate. Follow, in. That's the line. This way a bit more now, mate.
This way? Yeah, stay on that, okay, stop.
Good. Yeah.
Barney was up next in his Toyota Landcruiser. Little did we know our day was only just getting started and things were about to go horribly wrong.
Oh no. Oh no. You alright? Good? Your winch working a little bit? You're alright, buddy. You're alright. You didn't stop? You didn't stop. Alright.
It just brakes didn't work. Yeah. Jump out, mate. I want to start rigging this.
No, I'm just having a moment, eh?
No, you're right. I'll just push you out on the ground and sit down over there. Someone help him down?
I'm good. Alright. Good? I'm fine. Not that bad, to be honest, for me. The car's in trouble.
It was, at least it was slow. It was gentle.
It was, dead set. It just came and came. I'm like, hit. I braked and she didn't stop. So I pumped and went. And then she didn't stop, so I don't know whether it was like...
Did the brakes not work?
I hit the brake and I wasn't driving, accelerating. Yeah, that's alright. She was slow. I was happy with the pace of that. The main thing is I was able to like, alright, looked at the tree, so I'm past that. Just, you know,
Yeah,
just very quickly happened slowly.
Landcruiser things.
Well, they are a shite car. I'm blowing myself a G.
So you're all good, you didn't hurt anything?
Tried.
Yeah. It was a very light roll, like it went down as soft as you can hope for.
The damage is minimal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Did the tree get the bonnet at all?
Tiny bit at the bottom, kind of like a kink.
Yeah, it was
okay.
very gentle, but at the same time it wasn't great.
Yeah.
In these situations, it's best not to rush everything. After we'd had some time to assess the situation, make sure everyone was okay, it was time to come up with a plan, begin the recovery and get the Landcruiser back on all four wheels.
What's stopping us is that. So I gotta get the handbrake on, into gear.
Are you in gear?
Oh, dude, I'll just hop out of the car, right?
Okay. Maybe let's get you back. I don't know if I like you in there though.
I don't have to be in there, but it needs to be in.
Yeah, there's nothing else, just make sure it's in gear and go from there.
Did you lock this before, mate? Jesus Christ, that's a big drop.
So I need everyone like, so this is the line, and the car's going to come over, so I need to make sure everyone's well clear of this. Yep. Okay, so we've got it all rigged up now. This isn't a situation Ian wants to be in, but you've got to think it, spend a little bit of time. You're going to want to try and do it quickly, but you've got to spend a bit of time. So what I've done is I've secured Barney up in the tree using an extension strap. I've got it as tight as possible, in gear, handbrake on. We're using a slingshot with the Jeep down the bottom there, just to slowly pull it over. It's going to be a slow process. We're just going to take it, get it to a tipping point, and then once it's at tipping point, just check everything, rebalance, and then we'll try and bring it over gently. Winch in on that. Keep it on, keep it in. Nah, mate, back out on that, mate.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah, mate?
this road is potentially going to stop it coming down.
You reckon? Yeah, no, you're right. We're going to have to bring the line up here then.
Keep going. That's it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming a bit more.
Now, did you say you had rum?
Not me.
You know, I don't drink anymore, but I'll take that bottle of rum someone said I had.
Hey,
I have no idea how to drive the rest of this with the
load
G's.
on that winch.
Yeah, that's going to be the nerve-wracking bit.
Yeah, like,
Is that the first time you put a vehicle on its side?
I've leant over on a wall here, but that's full on its side.
Yeah.
With darkness closing in fast, the time was running out to get this thing back on all four wheels, and then we had to work out whether it would even run.
How's it looking, Chris?
It's down.
That's a good start.
I want to see if I can get this winch working. Now we're in a safe spot, it's secured. If I can get his winch working,
Yeah,
we'll get him out.
pull him up. He's probably not too keen to drive this step right now.
No, if we can get him up there, yeah.
So is it free spooling on the drum? Is that what's happened?
Yeah, the bolt that holds to the drum is sheared off.
Okay, yeah. So we've had this situation before,
Yep.
and we got out of it by super gluing the end of the rope to the drum. So it sounds stupid, but
yeah, good idea. Yeah,
that's the only
Enough to
thing.
get a couple of wraps on there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that ever worked for us because we tried every knot under the sun and it just kept slipping.
Oh, you got
Have you?
Yeah, in my car, because I don't have any skills. I just got masking tape, super glue, and zippy ties.
Gotta say,
If I can't fix it with that, then I'm stuck here. So the damage there's not any damage on the side.
Nah, I reckon I'm $300 in, mate.
It's just,
And a bonnet, so I might even do the bigger bonnet now.
So you need new snorkel and a bit of bonnet fixing up there.
The boys managed to get the winch working so they could pull Barney up that step that caught him out. It was time to get this Landcruiser going and see if Barney could get it to the top of Jeep track.
But drove the rest of the way to the top.
Yeah, at the same time, you just got to get over it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
You have to get over the GBs and you have to just come.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the fact that it didn't stop, it just went, and just kept, I just couldn't stop it. I was like,
Yeah, it just sort of started bouncing. And
what I didn't do in that was put on the gas. I've tried to brake instead of like, no, gas it and see if you can. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I didn't do well, so probably out. Very little damage, and that doesn't matter.
Good experience, and yeah, your car's fine. Like, well, it's not. Wouldn't say fine, but it's about as minimal damage from a rollover as you could possibly have.
And how's the oil leaking?
Was there any oil leaking?
Ah, that's why I'm asking you to give me a better torch. I got nothing. You got anything?
No.
I've got no oil leaking.
It's when you first ran it, it blew quite a bit of white smoke, but it's back to blowing the normal black smoke it does now. Well, Barney's up, back on his feet, and drove the rest of that hill, which was a solid effort after rolling a car. Because I tell you what, I'd be very, very nervous to drive that hill after if I was him, but he's up the top. First time I've ever actually seen a rollover out the bush. Never been in that situation before, so definitely an interesting experience, and one of the things that can go wrong out on these more challenging tracks. So there's 2 more vehicles to get up. I'm not going to film them because I've got plenty of footage and it's harder to film in the dark. I'm going to try and drive this last bit. Dad said there's 1 more rut, so I'm going to keep this, like, try and get my vehicle up, and then I can help the others get up if need be, but I figured I'd just get this convoy moving because 1 more potential fairly savage rut, and then yeah, we're out of here. What time is it, Kai? 6:40. Get out of here and get some dinner. Yep, they're on. Yep, that's it. Perfect opportunity to test out the new rock lights. Maybe not party mode, but okay, perfect. This is the one interesting section that I've got to get up out of this track. A very slippery, rutted out climb bit, but I'm thinking I'll do it, but may have to give it a bit. It's definitely a bad angle. The car just shut off. Car just shut off.
If I were you, I'd let it will she go backwards on its own, under its own steam, and level it out. It might have flooded itself for some such reason.
Well, the excitement of the day just isn't ending. So I've gone to drive up this next bit and the car's cut off on this hill. It's on a very bad angle, like it's a very rut that puts you on a very bad angle, and I was sort of trying to ease it up it, and then you just felt it die. So it feels like it's not picking up the fuel properly for whatever reason on this angle. It hasn't happened to me before, and I've had this car on pretty bad angles, so I'm not sure. But yeah, we can't get it going to reverse out of here. We'll let it sit for a while and then try again. I'll have to wait for the other to catch up, pull me backwards, and then see if it'll go on flat ground and try again or something.
After a little bit of mucking around and thinking, we ended up draining the sub tank into the main tank, as it really seemed like a fuel pickup issue. It didn't quite make sense, as the main tank was 2/3, 3/4 full from memory. But anyways, once that sub tank went in, it seemed to be able to pick it up properly on the angle, and we got it all running and good again. By this point, the others had caught up. I did have another crack at driving the rut, but I was unsuccessful, so we had to pull the winch out to winch me up that last bit of the track.
And we're out of this track. What a day. Bash away through some Lantana. I made it.
How come when we chillin' everything will feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know why we ain't been different. Why I feel the same anytime we kick it. We just can't get with it. Ain't no fixing. Here we go again with another lie that's told in vain. Avoid the pain even though we need to say goodbye. Feel the same. So codependent. This hurting been open-ended. We just been hoping.
Well, what a day that was yesterday. Definitely an all-time on the tracks. So we started Jeep track, which heads down there at maybe like 10:30, and then it goes down and back up around the side of the mountain, comes up there. We came off it maybe like 9:30, so 12 hours, 11 hours, and it's maybe like a 3 or 4k loop. Then I had that fuel issue, which was weird. I think it's that big long range tank I have, and I've just bashed it a heap, and I think it's maybe made things a bit funny in there in the pickup area, and it's not picking it up properly. So this was always going to be the potential problem with it, that it hung down too low for my stupidity driving. So yeah, I may go back to a normal tank and then do what I should have done in the first place, which is get a bigger sub tank, which is up the middle, out of the way there more. Dad and I just camped here at the end of the track. The other boys are all set up back in town. The plan is to meet up. I think the other boys are going to come back out this area today, and they still seem keen to do another track or two. So I said I'd find a couple more for them if they want. So hopefully have a bit more luck today though.
Joined up with the crew again, back into it. We're starting a little track not too far from camp called the Steps. It's only a short track. I've never driven this one, but some motorbikers drove past this morning and pulled up and said hello and recommended it to us. So here we are, see how we go. don't think your rear locker wasn't in, was it? Yeah, put it in, then you'll be sweet. Everyone's airing down quick after they've seen what's in front.
Oh, it makes it pretty rugged, is it?
Yeah. So that warm-up track lasted that section only, and now it turns into fairly hectic on the next bit, so everyone's dropping air and running all over the place. They're like, here we go, another one of Tyler's stupid tracks. So everyone's happy with the warm-up they just had, because that's all you get.
That's a little Sunday session, you know.
Now it turns to hell.
I was good yesterday. Once I got back on that horse, I was good. I cried myself to sleep, you know that. Everyone knows that. Keep driving, mate. Come on. Come on. Yes, yes, yes,
Not out of this track yet. We got some very sloppy, slushy ruts. Slushy. I'm just making up words here. I'm getting it, I'm dragging it out every time. Yeah. Should I go one more or?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Well,
that is how you do it.
we'll winch from there.
It's a simple winch.
That was probably the hardest I've ever pushed this patrol. You gotta just have some fun sloshing around the mud from time to time, and 4.8's got the power to do it. Hopefully there's a fuel station at the top of this hill because I'll have none left. Jeez. Need some new brakes. Is that a tyre? Yeah. Yeah, tyre.
He's not finished, folks. He's not finished. That's what he's back. That sounds good, folks.
Chris had a good crack in the Gladiator, but got stuck in the same spot that I did in the Patrol. Barney was up next in the Landcruiser, and those V8s sure do sound good when you put your foot down.
I'm gonna quit here.
What do you reckon, the Jimny might do it?
The Jimny's going to attempt to straddle this left-hand side the whole way.
Yeah, okay, you gonna try that?
Yeah, going to give it a go.
Yeah. The good thing about those is they're so light and they don't sit in the slosh, they bounce over it.
Yeah.
Go back and do that again, that was good. You gotta come to me a bit, then go. Don't go early because you're on the edge.
Yeah.
So come and then go again. But go a bit harder. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 Come on. Come on.
He crawled up all that pretty easy, eh?
Look, Lauren.
Yeah. Suzuki stuff. Nailed it, mate. Too good.
Bit messy.
After seeing the Jimny outdrive all the big rigs with some awesome driving from Darren, Duke thought he'd give the same line a crack in his Landcruiser to see if he could have the same success.
Oh, and a tyre.
Is that the bead?
Yeah, the rear drivers is off.
Bead's done.
Perfect.
Alright, let's get this sorted.
Can I get back or what?
Nah, you're going forward.
Go forward, my friend. Guys from Brisbane, mate, we just never wheeled before. First timers, thanks for taking on first time Coffs Harbour tours.
Geez, I'm glad I hadn't done that. Debead an idea in the tracks.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
When you look at that, there's 20 kilos of clay in that rim.
Yeah, like you look at this situation and you think, now what? You've got a tyre off the bead down there and not an exciting spot to be for that to happen.
That's where the weight hurts these things with these.
Yeah.
Big bend on a rock slider,
Yeah.
roll over,
Yeah.
now the clay.
Well, I think like these things, there's a lot of weight and they don't have the suspension travel, like they don't have flex, so that's why they just keep lifting into the air and getting on weird angles and stuff.
Yeah, and come back hard.
They sound good, but.
Don't they?
What, are you having a fun day out still?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, they might have. This might be the longest tyre change in history. The simplest and longest.
Yeah. This was meant to be, this is another one of Tyler tracks. Remember I said this would be just a quick warm up for the day?
Yeah.
And here we are.
Hours on.
Yeah.
Watching the sun go from smoko time to lunchtime.
Yeah.
We've moved 100 metres.
Yeah.
The crew managed to get the tyre rebeaded back on the Landcruiser, the vehicle back onto the track where they could then winch it up the final section. The day was really starting to move along by this point. I think it was past lunch and we still had 2 more vehicles to get up. We were quickly starting to realise this track was going to be the whole day.
Yeah, let's go again. Look at all day.
So the cruiser's up, got that tyre back on, winched it up. Jeep was next, just did another tyre as well. Perfect. Those tyres are the worst ones I've seen. Yeah.
So that's still leaking, that one?
Yeah.
And the other side's hot.
There's no tyre left. Look at that. And that tyre's off the bead.
While we were winching the Jeep up that top section, the Landcruiser had started down the bottom there and managed to get into a little bit of a predicament.
That's the risk you take with straddling. When straddling goes wrong. That's just the last vehicle coming up now. Got to winch that up, so that last cruiser's unlocked, so it's got the biggest challenge out of everyone. All the vehicles are up here, and then I think that might be us done for the day after this, because it's about 2 o'clock now. I've got to drive home to Savo, a couple of hour drive, and get ready for the week ahead. Like, looking up that, imagine thinking I got to drive up that.
I'm scared you're going to think that we're going to drive down this.
And we'll go next. All the boys are left to go home, so we're going to finish up the trip there, but it was a pretty awesome weekend away and something different. Witnessed our first rollover on the tracks and got the patrol on the limiter, and Coffs always brings absolute carnage to everybody that comes here. It's like very hard to find reasonable tracks in Coffs these days. Everything's just to the extreme, especially after all the floods the last 18 months. But Dad, myself and Kai have just parked up the top of Carnage Trail, which is one of the hardest tracks in Australia, if not the hardest. And I've always wanted to come here and have a look at it. Not drive it, because it's just absolutely insane. We're on it now and like, it's to the extreme, but I've always wanted to come for a walk and check it out and see what it's like. But yeah, this is one hell of a place. What do you reckon about driving up this track, Dad?
Yeah, we'll go. I'll run and grab my truck.
What do you reckon, Kai? We'll go for it?
Yep, but I'm not in the car.
We'd roll 100%.
I'll just be taking the photos.
Yeah, perfect. You can photograph the rollover. You ever seen a hill like this before?
No, this is, even for the dozer driver building this, he would have wondered if it wasn't going to lift a wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, this is seriously steep and seriously big holes and ruts. I've seen a few YouTube videos of this place, but it looks like no one's been on it for maybe, I don't know, 6 to 12 months now. With all the rain, it's probably made it worse. It nearly just looks undrivable. I'll put some 40s on the GQ and send it up here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do here? You'd have to straddle it.
Yeah, imagine turning that around there, coming up here.
Yeah. That rut looks easy to drive. What do you reckon? We'd drive up that rut right next to you there.
There we go.
There's no way around it either.
When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? Yeah. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? I just gotta know.